All right, so today we're going to be learning all about public speaking. We're going to learn skills such as how to talk clearly and which words to use when we do talk. So, we're going to start by asking you a couple of questions to get an idea of what public speaking kind of is. For all of these questions, you can either raise your hand and we'll call on you, or you guys can type your answers into the chat. All right, let's get started. So, first, what do we think public speaking is? What does this mean to us? Does anybody have any ideas what this could be? Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, Arya. You even brought in the word debate, right? So that's almost one step further than public speaking, right? It's making people try to convince people to think a certain way. Good job. Yes.
So, I have a question for you guys. Does public speaking sound like speaking in front of your friends at recess? Does that sound like public speaking to you, or is that something else? Does anybody have any ideas? So now we've kind of got an idea of what public speaking is, but let's see what it really means. And now you don't have to, but if you want to remember this, now's a great time to grab your paper and your pencil and write down this definition. All right, so public speaking is sharing your ideas in front of a large group of people. Public speaking is sharing your ideas in front of a large group of people. So we just had the example of like talking to your friends at recess. So yes, you're sharing your ideas with some people, but public speaking is a little more of giving a presentation in front of a class. It's sharing your ideas with a lot of people who may not agree with you, and they also may not be people who you're comfortable with. So, today we're all here to help you become public speakers, and the first step to doing so is trying to use less filler words. Now, does anybody know what filler words are? Exactly, exactly. That's a great one. Let's see what filler words really are. Filler words are words, like we said, that you use to fill in the space when you don't know what to say next. These are words, like Vadam said, that you don't really need to be saying. Some of the most common filler words include um, like, you know, yeah. Obviously, these aren't all the words, but these are a lot of common words that people say. Does anybody know of any other filler words or maybe some filler words that you say often?
If you have other words to add to the list, type it in.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, I'm going to show you how we can get rid of those. And first of all, thank you so much, Perna. That was great. Thank you. I think we got a really good understanding of what the filler words are. So now we know filler words are bad, right? We don't want to use them. And let me ask you, why don't we? Why should we not use filler words? What do we think? Oh, I like basically in the chat. Good. Why should we not use those evil words? Right, exactly. When people hear you use a filler word, they don't take you as seriously. They think you don't know really what you're saying, right? People may not believe you. Yeah, they might get distracted, right? If you use so many filler words, they might not even know what you're trying to say because it's not clear, right? And I see you, Kimmy, and I see you, Grayson and Bruce. I see your hands raised. We don't have too much time. So if you have another idea, type it into the chat so that everyone can see, okay? So I'm going to show you my 3 secret tips. So not everybody knows this, but my 3 tips on how you can stop using those evil words, okay? So tip number 1. Tip number 1 is practice. Raise your hand if you are involved in a sport. It could be soccer, it could be cheer, gymnastics, swimming. Raise your hand if you do a sport. Okay, that's quite a lot of us. So pretend for a second that you have like a big game coming up or a big cheer tournament or a gymnastics routine, right? You have a big competition coming up. Except here's the thing. Your team did not ever practice together. They never practiced. Or you never, let's say, practice your balance beam routine for your big gymnastics competition. Do you think you're going to do a very good job if you get there during the competition and you've never practiced it before?
No.
Probably not. Exactly. I'm seeing a lot of people say no, right? That's correct. No, because practice makes perfect, right? So It's the same thing with public speaking. The more you practice your speech, the better you'll be, right? So let's say you're giving a book report. You're going to want to practice the whole book report first by yourself, in front of a mirror, in front of your stuffed animals, maybe in front of your parents after that, right? Get feedback from them, how you could do better, and then you're ready to go, right? So you should practice every speech that you do at least, I would say, 3 to 5 times before you present. Okay, so remember that. That's my secret tip number 1. Secret tip number 2. Let's say it's the big day, okay? So your speech is here. Let's say you're giving a book report. The book report day is here. Your teacher calls on you. You go up to present, and all of a sudden, you hear yourself about to use a filler word. You're about to use one of those or like, so, right? You're about to use one. So what do you do instead? You just take a breath. Take a breath and pause. You don't need to fill up that space, right? Filler words are meaningless. They are useless. You don't need to fill it. Just take a breath. Okay. And then the last piece of advice that I have is try to find a phrase that you can use instead of using one of those evil words. So for example, I'm giving you someone right here. Give me a second, right? Let's say you're about to use, where was I now? Instead of using that, maybe you can say, let me think. Or, oh, this is a fancy one. Are you ready? Let me collect my thoughts. Wow, that's fancy. Basically, that one means, let me just remember where I'm at and what I'm supposed to say next, but in a fancy way. So think and play around with some of those. See how they feel in your mouth as you say them, right? And find that one phrase that you can use when you don't know what to say instead of the filler word. Okay, so I want you guys to think about those last 2, breathe and pause, and using a phrase like give me a second for our next activity. Okay, we are about to do an activity where you will have a chance to practice this. So make sure you remember to breathe instead of using a filler word and say, let me think, or give me a second. Does that sound good? Okay, are we ready for our activity? Here we go. This is going to be a fun one. Okay, Purna, do you want to explain the activity for us?
Yeah, so now we're going to play a little bit of an activity to try and find out which filler words we use and how often we use them. So basically, the way this works is everybody will share your response in the breakout room, and you'll have 45 seconds to answer a list of questions that we will put into the chat. Your job while you're presenting is to use as few filler words as possible. Now, audience, if you're not the one speaking, you're going to be listening to the speaker. And if you hear them say a filler word, wave your hands in the air. And this is to let them know that they just said a filler word. And if they say multiple filler words, wave your hands multiple times. Now, speaker, if you see the audience waving their hands, is this meant to embarrass you? No. It's meant to help you hear the filler words you say so you can get an idea of what you're saying and when and how to stop saying them. Everybody is going to be using some filler words, and that is totally okay. This is our first time trying this out, and we're just going to try and learn together. Does anybody have any questions about this activity or what or clarification on what they have to do?
Before we split you up, why don't you give me an example of waving your hands all crazy? Can everybody show me what that would look like? Okay, good, good. That's what you will do when you hear a filler word, okay? That's what you will do when you hear someone using a filler word. And if you see everybody waving their hands at you while you're speaking, don't worry about it, right? Just keep going. Just keep going. Okay, we're all here to learn. Good. Okay, and we'll see you back here soon. So the second part of public speaking that we're going to talk about today is projecting your voice. Raise your hand if you've heard anyone say, you need to project your voice. You need to project your voice. And what does that mean? Good, exactly. It means to speak loudly and speak clearly, right? And I see everyone else's hands, and I'm sure that's what you are going to say. So projecting your voice, if you want to write this one down too, yes, it means to speak loudly and clearly so everyone can hear you. So if you were to speak at the back of the class, right, people would be able to hear you. So you can even practice this at home. Go all the way to the end of your hallway and see if your family at the other end can hear you. Okay, so it means speaking loudly and clearly. Now, does it mean to shout? Like, are we supposed to say, is that what projecting is? You know, it is not shouting. It just means to get more air in you so that you can speak a little bit more loudly. Okay. So how do I do that, Miss Lauren? It's nice that you're telling me this, but how do I do it? I'm going to tell you. You will use something called your diaphragm. Can everybody unmute themselves and say diaphragm? Diaphragm, exactly. So you're going to use your diaphragm. Now, I want you to put your hands on top of your belly button. That's what your diaphragm is. If you put your hands right above your belly button, you're going to feel your diaphragm. Okay. So we're going to practice together how to use your diaphragm to give you that nice loud sound that everyone wants when you're speaking. So what I want you to do is put one hand, you're going to copy the little girl on the right, one hand right above your belly and one hand on your chest. Okay, exactly like Ridden is doing, right? And you can even stand up and show us this if that's better for you. So actually, why don't we stand up and do it? Everybody's gonna stand up, put one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Good job, everyone. And I want you to feel your chest stay super still. Your chest won't move, but I want you to feel your belly get bigger as you take a breath. So as you take a breath, your belly is going to almost blow up like a beach ball. I want to kind of see if everyone gets what that looks like. So let's pretend we have a beach ball in our belly and we are going to blow it up on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Do you see how my tummy got super big like a beach ball? It looks like a balloon. Okay, now breathe out. And see how your tummy goes all the way back in? So your tummy should be blowing up and back down while your chest stays super still. Okay, it's not easy. So let's practice it one more time. So feeling your diaphragm, putting your hand on your belly, feel your stomach get really big like a beach ball. And meanwhile, your chest stays super still. And exhale. Good job. And when you breathe out, you're going to push the sound out slowly. So it's almost like you're deflating a balloon, right? So you're first getting it super big, and then you're getting like a tiny hole in it so that it can deflate. Okay. So I want us to practice breathing that way in our next activity so that we can get that nice full sound. We can get enough air into our tummy so that when we speak, it sounds nice and loud. Thumbs up. Yes, that makes sense. Okay, great. So let's jump into our next activity. And this one's going to be a little quicker. We don't have too much time left, right? So this activity is called Flip It and Pitch It. Flip it and pitch it. So your team, each group, each breakout room is going to be given one random item, such as a stick from a tree or a feather, okay? I want you to think of one way that you could use this item differently, okay? And when you think of that cool and fun new way to use that item, I want you to draw it on your piece of paper, okay? We're gonna give you about 2 minutes for this. So you're gonna think of a new way to use your item, and then you're gonna draw out what that would look like. Then you're going to share your idea in your teams. Now, when you share your idea, that is your moment to use your diaphragm. Use that big belly breathing, blowing up the balloon in your tummy and using all that air to get a nice loud sound, right? And once everybody shares, each group is going to pick the most creative idea, okay? So let me give you an example, okay? Let's say that your item is a sock. What are some cool new ways that we can use a sock? What about like maybe a sleeping mask? You could put it on your eyes to shield your eyes, right? What are some other fun ways that you can use a sock? I love that idea. You can use it as sleeves, right? If it's cold outside. I'm sure everybody has such great ideas. So I want you to type those ideas into the chat. But meanwhile, we're going to assign you your items. Okay. So you should see all these items on the screen. So super quickly, I just want to hear from every room. So maybe room one. Room one, was that Bea's room?
All right, Miss Lawrence. So one of the creative ideas was actually from Grayson, and he shared that he wanted to use the wooden stick as something to help him breathe and calm down. So pushing it out as he breathes in, I believe, and pushing it back in just to calm himself down.
Love that idea. It's almost like a stress stick, right?
Yeah.
De-stress. Oh, I love that. They should make that. That's great. Thank you. How about room two, Ariella's room?
Yes, so Sia was the one to come up with this idea that we could take a rope and use it as something to crochet with. We could cut it apart and make it into something else that we need, like a bracelet or a necklace. And that was a really cool idea that she had.
I love that idea. Jewelry. That's so smart. Thank you, Sia. How about room three, Perna? What was a fun idea that you heard?
So my group's item was the paperclip, and one idea from Shania was actually to use it in place of a zipper. So if you have a zipper on your jacket and it falls out, you can just replace it, slide a paperclip in to the base, and then you can use it as a regular zipper.
Love that idea. Super creative, very useful. Love it. And then my room, I heard two great ideas that I wanted to share. One was so our item was an old t-shirt. One was you could use it if you trip and fall to like stop the bleeding, right? If you trip and fall and hurt yourself, you can help it. It's like a band-aid. And then the other one was a flag. Like maybe you could use it as a flag to put on a ship in case you're lost. You can hang it on a stick, maybe Grayson's stress stick, and then you can use it to hopefully get help. Right? Thank you so much, everyone. I'm sure everybody had great ideas. We're just going to take one more minute in this workshop because I want to hear what is something that you learned today? What is something that you learned today? And I'm going to show you a little summary of everything we talked about and what I want you to remember here. So remember, for the filler words, what are we going to do? How do we stop using them? Practice, breathe and pause, and use a phrase. Right? Find a phrase that works for you. And then for our projecting our voice, what are we going to do to be louder? We're going to use our diaphragm. Keep your chest still and move that tummy. Get a lot of air in there, right? So you can have a nice full sound. Good. So type in the chat. What is something that you learned today? Well, thank you so much, everyone. I hope that you learned at least one new thing today and that you had fun. Right? And hopefully we'll see you at our next workshop coming up on everything that's not about what you say, but it's how you look. So it's about body language and public speaking.